Welcome to Solar Power Math, where I help you with some basic things, math concepts that will help you become a successful student in the classroom. What we're going to do today is solving equations. And before we can solve equations, we have to understand what inverse operations are. So, inverse operations, I have them listed here. The opposite of adding a number is subtracting a number, and vice versa. So the opposite of subtracting is to add. The opposite of multiplying is dividing, and vice versa. So the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So those inverse operations will help us to solve equations. So I have four listed here. The first one, x plus 12 equals 30. So we need to solve for x. That's the purpose of solving an equation, is to get x by itself. So we have a plus 12. Well, like I mentioned, the opposite of adding 12 is subtracting 12. So we need to subtract 12 so that we can cancel out the 12. 12 minus 12 is 0, so that cancels. But we can't just do it to one side. We have to do it to both sides. So let's subtract on the right as well. And so that leaves us with x equals 18. And now x is by itself, and we know that x is 18. Next one, 4x equals negative 20. So first we have to understand what that 4x is. There's not an adding sign, there's not a subtraction sign, there's no sign in the middle actually. So what does that mean? When there's not a sign in the middle and you have a coefficient, a number right next to a variable, that means we're multiplying the 4 times the x. So the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So we'll divide both sides by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So now we're left with 1x, but we have to divide the other side by 4 too. So that'd be negative 5. Well, we don't really need that 1x there. If we just have an x, that means there's only one of them. So x is negative 5. All right, the next one. We have a couple different things keeping x from being by itself. So we have a minus 10 and the 3, and we have to get rid of both of them. Now, here's a helpful hint. It's easiest if we get rid of the addition or subtraction first. So let's get rid of that minus 10 first. The opposite of subtracting 10 is adding 10. And if we add 10 to this side, we have to add 10 to the other side. Now that cancels out the 10, and we just have 3x equals 36. And then to get x by itself, that's a 3 times x. So the opposite of multiplying is dividing by 3. So x is equal to 12. And the last one, x divided by 4 plus 3 equals negative 2. So again, we have a couple things standing in the way of x being by itself. Let's get rid of the addition or subtraction first. There's a plus 3, so subtract 3 from both sides. So x divided by 4 is equal to negative 5. And now the opposite of dividing by 4 is multiplying by 4. We multiply by 4, that cancels out the denominator of 4. So we need to multiply the right side by 4. So that leaves us with x equals negative 20. So there's a few examples of solving equations. I hope this video helped in solving equations. So